Hari Om. Starting with invocation, let us chant from verses 26 to 30 of Atma Bodha. Pratah smarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yasvapna jagara sushuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sangaha Atmano vikriya nasti Buddhir bodho na jatiti Jivhas sarvamalam jnatva Jnata drishteti muhyati Rajju sarpavadatmanam Jivo jnatva bhayam vahe Naham jiva paratmeti Jnataschet nirbhayo bhave Atma vabhasayat buddhyadinindriyanyapi Deepo gathati basvatma Jadai sthairna vabhasyate Swabodhe nanya bodhe cha bodharupatayatmanaha Nadipasya dipe cha Yatha swatma prakashane Nishidhya nikilopadhin Neti neti tivakyataha Vidhyadaikyam mahavakyaihi Jivatma paramatmanoho
Pratasmarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha Atma Bodha. We continue with we finished verse number 29. We continue with verse number 30. Verse number 30. Nishidya nikilopadhi neti neti iti vakyatah Vidyadaikyam mahavakyai Jivatma paramatmanoho Nishidya nikilopadhi neti neti iti vakyatah Vidyadaikyam mahavakyai Jivatma paramatmanoho Having negated all equipments by averring not this, realize the oneness of the individual Atman and the Supreme Reality Brahman through the Mahavakyas, great aphorisms. Neti neti iti vakyatah. Having negated all equipments by not this, realize the oneness of the individual Atman and the Supreme Reality Brahman through the Mahavakyas, the great aphorisms. Oh, is my volume is low, is it? Huh? It's okay. It's fine. Okay. Right, okay. Venkat கேக்குறது இல்லையா கரெக்டா?
It's clear.
Yeah, clear.
Solved.
Okay. Yeah. The Supreme Self is realized through two processes, assertion and negation. The Self is realized by the two processes. The two process is assertion and negation. Negation of the unreal and assertion of the real. The two processes, negation and assertion. So you negate the unreal and you assert the real. You negate the unreal through your logic, reason, pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, and all that. You negate the unreal. You assert the real, taking the help of the Shastras. These are the two ways. Otherwise, people ask, how? I do not know, sir. How will I assert that I do not know? How can I assert that I do not know? Obviously, you do not know. The only way to assert it is by taking the help of the Shastras, Mahavakyas. Here in this context, he is using the Mahavakyas. So, two processes, negation and assertion. To understand that the world is temporary, to understand that all that is born will die, to understand the world is changing, you don't need a Shastra. If you have a basic intellect and if your eyes are open, you will know it. You don't need Krishna to come and say it is temporary. You don't need Krishna to come and say it is all impermanent. Shastras is not needed for that because it can be known by even the person who, any human being who's got a little bit of intellect would understand life is temporary, impermanent, changing, mortal. All that are born will die. You don't need Krishna to come and teach you that which is obvious. Shastra is not required to teach that which is obvious. So the negation is done through the obvious methods of pratyaksha, anumana, upamana, whatever the methodology is. And how do you assert? Through the Shraddha in the Shastra Vakyas, you assert. So assertion and negation. Now, predominantly, we are going to talk about negation, and assertion also we are going to talk a little bit. Predominantly, the Shastra's methodology is the process of negation. Neti, neti, neti. By negating all that is unreal, you will end up in that which is real. So there is no need to really bother about you missing the real. Effort has to be done to negate the unreal. And then the question is assert. You need to assert also sometimes. And how do you assert? The question is, how can I assert that which I don't know about? So if I have to assert something, I should know it. No, that will be the clarification. That would be the only stumbling block that you have in assertion, for which the answer is you negate, taking the help of the You negate taking the help of the Shastras. Vidya Daikyam Mahavakyai. The Aikyam, the oneness, the Aikyam, the oneness can be gotten through the oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. This Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam is the Lakshya, the goal, the destination of life, the goal, the destination of Shastras is this. Very important to us. Another verse where you don't find any simile here. Some of the verses I said there will not be any simile. Another verse where there is no simile. Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam is the Lakshya, is the goal. What is the goal? Realizing the oneness of the individual Atman and the Supreme Brahman is the goal. Recognizing the part space and the total space is one. That is the Lakshya. Recognizing the part space and the total space is one. And they are not two things. So first thing that is understood here is the goal. What is the goal? Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam. Aikyam means the essential oneness. Aikyam means recognizing the oneness. It is not that you mix it and make it one. It's not that these are two separate entities. Through your effort, you are making it and mixing it into one. That's not Aikyam. Aikyam means recognizing the essential, inherent oneness. How do you do that? The Mahavakyas. The Mahavakyas. So, first thing that we have to understand is what is the negation and assertion. What is the unreal? He has been talking about the unreal from, if you see from verse number 6 onwards, 5, 6 onwards, he started talking about the unreal and then the superimposition. So what is the unreal? The gross, the subtle, the causal bodies are unreal. And we have seen unreal means, what is the definition of unreal? We have seen it any number of times. Unreal means that which has a dependent existence. Unreal means that which has a temporary existence. That which has a temporary existence and that which has a dependent existence is unreal. Unreal means that which has a beginning and an end. That unreal means that which has a beginning and an end is unreal. That which is beginningless, which will be endless, is real. The three states of consciousness is unreal. The three bodies are unreal. The three gunas are unreal. The desires, the vasanas are unreal. So all that is known becomes, all that is known, all that is conceived of is unreal, but the aham, the I, is real. All this we have seen already. This aham, the I is not unreal. The I, that which the I you associated with is unreal. The I is not unreal. So when you say, I am the body is unreal. When you say, I am the mind is unreal. When you say I am the intellect is unreal. But the I is not unreal. For the body can go, the mind can go, the intellect can go, the I remains the same. Therefore, the I is the real. All that is associated with the I is unreal. This is the understanding. Negating the unreal aspect, you end up recognizing the real. Negating the unreal, you end up recognizing the real. What will drive the pursuit of negating all this? The Shraddha in the Mahavakyas, the Shraddha in the Shastras. Because yesterday day before, yesterday afternoon, one person called me and said, sir, I have a very fundamental question. I said, what? How can you say Vedanta is the only, how can you say religion is the proof for God? How can they prove something? Proof has to come from something else. How can that becomes the proof for God? I said, what is your question? I said, I don't understand your question. It's like saying the proof of physics. How can physics prove physics? The proof of physics should come from chemistry, yeah. How can the proof of one come from something else? The proof of something is in itself. If you understand this, you will have Shraddha in the Shastra Vakya. But you always look for an external proof. That is why we don't have Shraddha in anything. We don't have Shraddha in anything because we always look for a proof from the other which cannot prove. The proof that an object exists. What is the proof? That you are seeing me, I am seeing you. What is the proof that you are seeing me and I am seeing you? The eyes. You can't say, no. Eyes, I can't prove by the sight. The sight has to be proved by something else. How can something else can prove the existence of something else? So the proof is itself. Not only it is that girl's question. So many people have this problem. They say, how can you be the proof? The enlightened master says, I am the proof. You will ask, we will ask, how can you be the proof? The proof has to come from the university. Yeah, the university has to give a certificate that this person is enlightened, this person is ignorant. Who is the proof? Are you able to follow? The proof is itself. How do you know the proof is itself? Previous two verses. Light. The proof of the light is the light. The proof of the light doesn't come from any other light. If the proof of the light comes from any other light, what is the proof of that light then? Then you will be going in, then you'll be going in a vicious circle. Here, the negation part can be done through without the aid of the Shastra also you can do the negation, but for assertion, you have to have Shraddha and assert. You have to have Shraddha and assert. There is no other way. Therefore, he says, Vidyad Aikyam Mahavakyai. This Aikyam can come only through Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas means Vedanta. Mahavakyas means Vedanta. I'll come into that Mahavakya. Any Vedanta, any statement that reveals the individual self and universal self is Mahavakyam. And there are lots of Mahavakyams in the Upanishads. As a sample, four will be taken for analysis. And the Upanishads don't have only these 4 Mahavakyams. Upanishads has lots and lots of Mahavakyams. But these 4 are taken for as a sample. So what is a Mahavakya? Mahavakyam is that which reveals the identity of the individual self and the universal self. Anything that reveals the identity is known as a Mahavakyam. Second, the Mahavakyam will not give any new definition of God, will not give any experience of God. Vedantic study, Vedanta, the Mahavakyas are not saying, I am going to make you God. The Mahavakya says, it reveals that which you are already. If anybody says, I am going to make you that, now you will fall for that because he's doing something. He's doing something, he can create something, and you will also fall for that because something is happening there. No. Mahavakyas and Vedantic statements are not that much appealing because it reveals that which is, it is a revelation of that which is already there. But then you are so interested in doing, not only interested in doing, you want to do it fast also. Yeah. Shankar. Corporation office la pona உட்காரணும். கடகடன் வேலையை முடிச்சிட்டு வரணும்னா it will not happen. You have to sit there. அவ்வளவுதான். இல்லைன்னா காசு கொடுத்து வேலை முடிக்கணும். We don't. Yeah. இல்ல 3 days he went. அவ்வளவுதான். Not 30 years alone. Just 3 days he went. Restless. Why 3 days? We are going for 30 years and nothing is. Shankar, புரியுதா? You have to go. That's all. Go and sit there. Show your face and irritate the fellow till the fellow says either get lost or job will be done. But job will be done. Correct? Arda illiya? Job will be done. Isn't it? A few times you do like this, conviction comes. Otherwise, you all believe that it is impossible. These things will not happen. No. Impossible to believe that things can happen. But then you don't know. You have not done anything. That's why. If you have done something, you will know that impossible becomes possible. That's not impossibility. The impossibility becomes possible. But then we are more interested in action, the quickness of the action, the quickness of the result. We have to do an action. As soon as the action is over, the result has to come. Imagine if Krishna had that hurry. First 3 verses சொல்லி முடிச்ச உடனே, if Krishna was in a hurry that Arjuna should understand, what would have happened? What would have happened? if the guru is in such a hurry to communicate, and we are all Padma Patra Ivam Basa to that knowledge, what would happen? Revelation, to recognize the revelation, patience is required. Today, patience is seen as a negative quality. Patience is not seen as a virtue anymore. Patience is seen as something which is negative. Because we are all dynamic people, no. We are all achievers. People in the past, they were all useless people. They didn't do anything. We are the bunch of people here who are very efficient, dynamic, smart, thinking. I don't know what all we think about ourselves. We certify ourselves also. Able to follow? So, the study of the scriptures is not going to create anything new. The Mahavakyas are not going to create anything new. They are only going to make it that which is there, they are going to reveal. Everything remains the same, your perception changes. That is Mahavakya. It's not that you do the Mahavakyam, corrupt politician will become honest politician. It's not that you do Mahavakyam, the selfish people will turn unselfish. It is not that the person who's manipulating and wicked and vicious will be very sacrificial, service oriented. Not all that. That will remain the same. But in you, there is it is like looking at it from a height. It is like looking at it from a height. When you are at the ground level, to what extent you can see? Yeah, to what extent you can see? The first block. Yeah, you go 10 floors above. You go 10 floors above. In the balcony, you can, it goes, it stretches and stretches and stretches. I go to the rooftop, I can see the ocean. The higher and higher and higher you go, you see things, they remain the same, but because of your height, you see it differently. Are you? All topics of Vedantic study is centered around Mahavakyas only. That's why even when we introduce Bhagavad Gita, we say 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita divided into 18 chapters is divided into 3 sets of 6 chapters each. The first 6, the middle 6, and the last 6. All these 18 chapters, 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita talking about one Mahavakya, one aphorism called Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. That I understand, sir. Adhula onnu problem illa. Understanding Mahavakyam, I don't have a problem at all. I have a problem only dealing with my partner. Dealing with my children only, I have a problem. Mahavakyas and all, I don't have a problem. Why? Because it is so straightforward. Tat Tvam Asi. So all Vedantic study is revolving around this Mahavakyams. In our course of discussion, we get to discuss Mahavakyas only in detail, only in 2. One is in this verse, Atma Bodha. Another is in Vedanta treatise when we go to the 4 aphorisms. Otherwise, we don't get a chance to study it in detail. And wherever we get a chance to study in detail, I will torture you all out of that. Just as rope and snake, no. We keep discussing that, but nowhere it is directly rope and snake comes. And wherever rope and whenever rope, since it came rope and snake, directly it came, we went into study. Similarly, we will start the Mahavakya study. So all Vedantic study is this Mahavakyam. And what is this? That reveals the oneness. Mahavakyam is that which reveals the oneness. And what they have done here is 4 Mahavakyas from 4 Vedas as a sample. The 4 Mahavakyas from the 4 Vedas is taken as the sample. Prajnanam Brahma is taken from Aitreya Upanishad, Rigveda. Aham Brahmasmi, Brihadaranyaka Yajurveda. Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upanishad, Samaveda. Ayam Atma Brahma, Mandukya Upanishad, Atharva Veda. These are the 4 from 4 Vedas, 4 Mahavakyams. Now, all these 4 Vedas have very many. All these 4 Vedas have very many Mahavakyams. It's not only these 4, but it is taken as a sample. So, the first one is Prajnanam Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. It is called Lakshana Vakya. The question is, what is God? What is Brahman? Question, what is God? What is Brahman? Definition. What is the Lakshana Vakya? The Lakshana Vakya is consciousness is God. Consciousness is Brahman. Then comes Tattvamasi, Upadesha Vakya. Upadesha Vakya. Then comes Tattvamasi, Upadesha. Upadesha, the father taught to the Tattvamasi was taught by father to the son. The third aphorism is Abhyasa Vakya. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma. I am this Atma, self, Brahma. This self is Brahman. This self is Brahman. Atman is Brahman. Atman is Brahman. Atman is Brahman. Spot space is total space. Spot space is total space. Spot space is, this is Abhyasa. The last one is Anubhava. Anubhava means experience. Anubhava Vakya. What is Anubhava Vakya? Aham Brahma Asmi. I am Brahman. I didn't become God, I am God. You should know the difference. I am a good person versus I became good. I am a bad person, I became bad. There is no becoming here. It is a statement of I am, Aham Brahma Asmi. Asmi means I am. That's all. I am. When? Always. Past, present, future. Just as in the rope snake example, the rope said, I am. Before the snake, I am. During the snake, only I am. After the snake also, only I am. Before the snake, I am. During the snake, I am. After the snake also, only I am. These 4 Mahavakyas. How to inquire? How to do this inquiry? We have done this. I'm just summarizing. the pure consciousness versus the reflected consciousness, conditioned consciousness. The inquiry. What is the inquiry? The inquiry can be done about the subject, or the inquiry can be done about the object. The inquiry can be done about the subject. You can ask, who am I? The inquiry can be done about the subject, or the inquiry can be done about the object. What is the world made up of? How did the entire thing started? How the whole thing is supported? Where is the whole thing going to go? So inquiry can be done in relation to the microcosm. The inquiry can be done in relation to the macrocosm. Both microcosm and macrocosm gets combined at one level, and they become conditioned consciousness. And there is something that is supporting it. What is it? The pure consciousness, the unconditioned consciousness. What is this neti now? This word neti itself comes from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This word neti itself is from Brihadaranyaka. 4 times it comes. Just as Tattvamasi comes 9 times. Kenopanishad repeats so many things. Isavasya Upanishad repeats. All Upanishads repeats. In fact, Bhagavad Gita, chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter, is a virtual repetition of the same thing. Yeah. I mean, new release கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு movie எடுக்கறாங்க. Yeah, new-வா போடுறதுக்கு. It's the same thing. The truth can only be repeated. The only way the truth can be conveyed is by repetition and reiteration. By repeating, by reiterating, the truth is established, communicated. The truth is established, the truth is communicated only by this method, by repetition. Iti means this. Na means not. Neti comes from neti. If you split, it becomes na plus iti. Iti means this. The Sanskrit word na is the negation. Means not this. Mundakopanishad, Kathopanishad talks about neti technique as the anoraniyam, it says. The lower half and the upper half. After saying the Mahavakyas, for the next few verses, he is going to talk about the attributes of Brahman, so that you can pick up something and assert. Few verses, from maybe another 4 or 5 verses, he will talk about how do you assert the attributes of Brahman. But when we go there, we understand that Brahman is much beyond. Brahman is beyond all these. But it gives something to assert. Subtler than the subtlest. Tad dhure, tad antike, sukshmat, tat sukshmataram, sarvagatam, nityam. All so many attributes. When we go there, we will see. And those 4 or 5 verses can be finished in one session. Because there's nothing to analyze in that. These are all the ways. This is Brahman. So up to 29, 30 only konja goods train mari pohum, because there's a lot of things to analyze. When we go in those 5-6 verses, there's nothing to analyze there. This is Brahman, this is Brahman, this is Brahman. Beautiful are those verses. That's an aid for assertion. Before you assert, you need to negate. Na iti. What do you negate? Anything that is felt, anything that is perceived, known, conceived, you negate. Again, I repeat, what do you negate? What do you negate? Anything that is perceived, anything that is felt, anything that is known, you negate and say, not this. God cannot be defined. Correct, sir. Now I understand. The definition of God is, God cannot be defined. Neti, not this. Because you have conceived of it. Anything that you have conceived, you say neti. Anything that is felt, you say neti. Anything that is perceived, you say neti. Not understanding the preparatory qualifications and the maturity of the person who's doing neti, people went on saying Vedanta is a very negative method. Vedanta simply say neti, 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 and takes away everything from you. Neti is done by whom? The process of negation and assertion is done by whom? Okay, to put it very simply, anybody who has reached the level of negation and assertion will not be sitting in this classroom. I will be going and sitting in that person's classroom. Why will they come and sit in this classroom? So who is qualified to do this negation and assertion? A person who has done the sadhana chatushtayam. Go back to verse number 1. The preparatory qualifications well established, and then having understood the conviction that sakshan mokshaika sadhanam, wanting to liberate, to that person negation and assertion. To that person negation and assertion. You are not asked to negate and assert. If you are asked to negate and assert, it is very negative. It is beyond our capabilities. You are not told to negate and assert. You are told at some point of time, this is the method that you have to adopt. At some point of time, you will be having to adopt this method, because in the name of positive thinking, we say negation and all is very bad, sir. We have to really, no, we have to really, because these are the days of what is called creative visualization. I don't know what all words they come up with. These are the days where we have to visualize. We don't negate and become negative in life, because negate, you become negative. You assert, you become more negative. All of that, nothing will happen. Yeah, you assert. What are you asserting? Anything that is conceived, felt, perceived, you negate. You say no. Negate the factors of jiva. Negate the factors of jivatma. What are the factors of jivatma? The 3 bodies, body, mind, intellect, the 3 states of consciousness, the 3 gunas, the panchakoshas. These are all the attributes of jivatma. All that we have studied already. What are the attributes of? This is what jiva is all about. Again, what are the attributes of Jivatma? The Panchakoshas, the 3 states of consciousness, the 3 gunas, the three bodies, body, mind, and intellect. All this you negate. All this you negate. Why do I have to negate this? Why do I have to negate this? You have to negate these because number 1, it is unreal. Number 2, this creates the all the trauma and pain and hope of joy, and all that comes from the hopes of joy and contentment and satisfaction, and the pain and trauma and sorrow and suffering of life, all comes from this. The way to handle the snake is, how do you deal with the snake? In the rope and snake example, what is the way to deal with the snake? What is the way to handle the snake? Take a stick and hit the... What is the way to handle the snake? By recognizing there is no snake. By recognizing there is no snake, the problems that arises out of the snake gets dissolved. One solution for all problems. All the problems of the snake, all the difficulties that arise from the snake. What is the solution? How to deal with this? You can... All is dealt in one way. What? Recognize that there is no snake. In the negative way. In the positive way, see the rope. See the rope. Recognize the non-existing snake and recognize the existing rope. Ida Mahavakya, Aikyam. Recognize the non-existing snake and recognize the ever-existing rope. Recognize the ever-existing rope and recognize the non-existent snake. That is why you have to negate. Otherwise, we keep asking how to handle. The only way to handle it is you rise above. The only way to handle is you rise above. Okay, to put it in a very simple way, I have said this sometime in the past. Have you ever observed whatsoever you bring as a solution to one problem, itself turning into another problem? You have a problem and you bring something as a solution to that problem, and what you brought as a solution turns into another problem. It means, what are you doing actually? One problem gets replaced with another problem. There is no solution. There is no solution at all. Why? Because as long as what management can you do to deal with the snake? What management can you do to deal with the snake? Are you able to follow? Whatsoever you manage, that becomes... Whatsoever you do to manage, that turns into another problem. In the cycle of life, solutions seems to be a temporary hope. Reality is, solution itself is another problem. This is a very pessimistic and very negative way of looking at life, sir. Why do you have to look at life in such a pessimistic and negative way, and depressing it is? And we come to Vedanta class to get charged up and motivated, not to get depressed and go back. In the name of motivation, it will not tell you the untruth. It says the truth. You have to mature yourself to digest it. If you don't mature yourself to digest it, it will keep repeating till you get matured. But it will not leave you. Huh? It will not leave you. It will keep continuing saying the truth. So what is the way? Why I'm saying all this analysis is, what is the question? What is the necessity to? What is the necessity to negate? What is the necessity to negate? Negation is necessary because only through this the problems is transcended. Otherwise, you create a problem. Remember the story Mullah Nasruddin and his family? You remember that story, no? To solve the problem of the rat, he brought in a cat, and to solve the problem of the cat, he brought in a cow. To solve the problem of the cow, he brought a piece of land, and to take care of that, he brought a This is evolution, sir. This is how we grow in life. From what? From rat to cat to a cow. அப்புறம் அதுக்கு ஒரு டீம் லீடர் வேணும் இல்லையா? இதுக்கு மேனேஜ் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு டீம் லீடர் வேணும். அப்புறம் ஃபார் த டீம் லீடர் யூ நீட் அ Shailesh, who are you? To manage the team, you have to become a another. I don't know what is he called. Something he calls himself. I really don't know what he calls himself. Project leader. Illa. Where no hour. He is something. And for that team, and this is evolution. And finally, down the line, everybody in that line is worried, anxious, agitated. Director, cinema director. I didn't know that he became a movie director. He's a director. No, that's not. One problem gets replaced by another problem. Maybe for this generation or maybe for the next generation, but whatsoever the cycle of life is this. Vedanta sees life in its entirety. The vision of Vedanta is so penetrative that it sees life in its entirety. Our vision of life is so narrow that we are not able to see it beyond a point. That is why that the vision of the Vedanta and our vision doesn't sync at all, doesn't meet at all at any point, because their vision is so penetrative and our vision is so narrow. Like Swamiji says, you can't see beyond the tip of the nose, he says. The vision is so small that it doesn't go beyond this. When you see the whole life, not just one decade, not just 1 year, when you see the whole life, you understand what managing as such doesn't exist. Transcending is possible. Managing is not possible. Transcending is possible. Managing, the efforts are vyartha, futile. The same efforts becomes meaningful if you want to transcend. How do you manage the snake? The question. Sir, later on I will understand how to understand the snake as the rope. That I'll do later. But now tell me how to manage the problems that arises from the snake. And you will be given a solution. No doubt you will be given a solution. After a few weeks, after a few months, or after a few years, or after a few decades, you realize that that solution itself has turned into another problem. Okay, you may bring in the solution for one species. The solution that you bring for one species may turn into a problem for another species. Yeah. பாவம் அந்த கொரோனா வைரஸை போட்டு அவ்வளோ வேக்சின் தேடுறாங்க எல்லாரும் இல்லையா, trying to destroy one species. So what you bring as a solution to one will turn it detrimental to. So when you look at life in this manner, what do? What are we doing actually? But then everybody is so clear about what they are. But then everybody is so clear about what they are doing, and everybody is so clear about what they want to do also. Neti neti iti vakyatah vidya daikyam mahavakyai. Neti neti no one side, vidya the aikyam through the mahavakyas. If you do these two practices, what happens? The problem of the snake is solved forever. Otherwise, Ramatirtha says it very beautifully in one of the lectures. He says, all the solutions are like rheumatism, he says. All the solutions are like rheumatism. It will transfer the pain from one joint to the other joint. He says, it will transfer the pain, so beautifully he said. He said, it will transfer the pain from one joint to the other joint, but the pain remains. Only freedom is what? This hand was paining, sir. From today, this hand has become free. This hand is only paining. When will you be pain-free? It's okay, sir. Help us to shift the problem from. So he says, all the solutions is like shifting the pain from one joint to the other joint. What is shifting the pain from one joint to the other joint? Punarjanma. One janma to the other janma. That's all. Punarjanma. In that new janma, the person thinks new life, fresh life. Life is beautiful. Life is wonderful. New life, fresh life. Punarjanma. What? The pain has shifted from one joint to the other joint. Vedantic knowledge, seeing it, Vedantic knowledge looks at life in its entirety, not with the limited, narrow vision that we have. Why do you have to negate? Negation helps you to transcend, and by transcending is the way to recognize the reality. That's why you have to negate. But sir, there are so many beautiful things, no sir, in life. There are so many wonderful things. There are so many beautiful things. Why can't I see divine everywhere? Why can't I see God everywhere? All are creation. Huh? Correct, no? Why negate, sir? Problems. And why are you talking so pessimistically? It is not that life, sir. Look at it's so. Life is so beautiful. Life is so wonderful. The sunset is so beautiful. The sunrise is so beautiful. Everything, the flowers are so beautiful. Everything is divine. Why can't I see divine everywhere? Why can't I see God everywhere? Correct? Why can't I see God everywhere? Negative, we don't want to think. Why can't I see God everywhere? Why can't I do all this? It is like trying to see the rope in the snake. It is like trying to, you will understand. Ya pashyati, ka pashyati. It is all these attempts is like trying to see the rope in the snake. Other than the rope and snake example, Rajju Sarpa, I tell you something so extraordinary. We can do a 6 months course only on Rajju Sarpa. That's the rope and snake, a 6 months course can be so beautifully. So what is seeing divine in the world, seeing God everywhere? It's like seeing rope in the snake. It means, what are you actually seeing and what is your hallucination? What are you actually seeing? If you are seeing rope in the snake, what are you seeing really? What are you seeing really? Snake. What is your hallucination? Rope. So God is your hallucination, world is real. That's why Vedanta comes and says all that is okay, but it will not help you to recognize the truth. It will not help you to realize the truth. So don't get carried away by these things. Otherwise, people say negation is okay, sir, but world has so many beautiful things also. The ocean is beautiful. The stars in the sky is beautiful. The moonlight is wonderful. Summer is also beautiful. Winter is also beautiful. Ningle class la evlo what is sollirkel sir? Yeah. If the young skin has a beauty, the old skin also has a beauty. How many? If the white skin has a beauty, the dark black shining skin also has a beauty. Rama is black in color. Rama was never. I think Rama never went to any beauty parlor. I think. You know that, no? You know the color of Rama, no? You know the Rama. You know the color of Rama. Rama color in blue color la podrangalla. That is not Rama's color. Yeah. Rama blue and the color lang kadeve. You know what is Rama's color? No? Krishna's color, you know, name adana. Krishna pere vechitanga avarukku. Black in kupidraanga avaru. Illa Krishna na what does it mean? Krishna na black. Black in kupiradhukku badala Krishna na kupta black in kupta enna artham? Rendu onnudha. So you only has said all this, no sir. All this amounts to what? All this amounts to seeing the rope. All this amounts to seeing the rope in the snake. Vedanta says it's okay for a while to try all this is okay for a while, but if you have to recognize and reach the highest state, your original state, you have to let go of all these sentimental wrong associations with God also. You have to let go of that. Neti to that also you need to say. Then only you will be able to evolve. So down the line, what do? You understand Neti. You will use everything as a tool to evolve and you will not get stuck with anything. You will use all this as a, you will use all these methodologies as a tool to evolve and you will not get stuck with anything. Are you able to follow? Otherwise, you will be stuck. Neti netiti vakyatah vidyadaikyam mahavakyai. Verses 31, 32, 33 cover the process of negation. 34, 35, 36 gives the process of assertion. The next 6 verses is going to talk about the negation and assertion. With this background, when we go into the verses next week, not today, it becomes easy to follow the process of negation. 31, 32, 33 is going to talk about negation. 34, 35, 36 is going to talk about assertion. Nirguno, Nishkriyo, Nitya and all, he will start. When he's going to talk about assertion, he will talk about that. So, you need to do both. What are the things you need to do both? You need to do assertion as well as negation. For assertion, it is for assertion, the support comes from the Shastras. For negation, again you can borrow the Shastras. Again, Shastras helps you to negate also. But the purpose of the Shastras is not to negate. The purpose of the Shastra is to assert. Because even if you don't study the Shastra, you can still understand life as unreal, temporary. The person who has lived with you in blood and flesh suddenly disappeared. You don't need Krishna to come and teach you this. Life itself teaches you that it is temporary, unreal. There was a time where your memories are fresh and alert and agile. There will come a time where you will not even remember. எல்லாருக்கும் இந்த electronic tag போட்டு விட்டுறணும் இல்லையா? Because people will lose their memory and they will wander. Using the tag, they can be traced. எல்லாருக்கும் ஒன்னொன்னு போட்டு விட்டுறணும். எல்லாருக்கும் கழுத்துல ஒரு GPS tag. Memory. So the very experiences of life, if you are alert to it, it teaches you the impermanency of it. Shastras reinforces it. So you take negation is done through your own analysis, your own understanding. Assertion is done through the Shastras. That which is not obvious, Shastra has to teach that. That's why it is difficult. Sciences are not that difficult because after a while it becomes obvious. Shastras always teaches that which is not obvious. Therefore, there is always an element of unknown, uncertainty, lack of trust, lack of faith in that, because it always talks about that which is not obvious. And I have said this before, education is required only for this purpose. The importance of education is understood by the educated or uneducated. Importance of education is understood by the educated or uneducated. Who understands it? The educated understands the importance of education and they drill the uneducated to get it correct. Who understands the importance of the paradox of life? That's why it is not obvious. Why it is not obvious is because of the paradox. The importance of intellect is understood. The importance of intellect is understood by one who has it. Yeah. Adnala sir, I have an intellect and I'm telling people nobody is listening to me, sir. Correct. Today, now only you said one Mahavakya. Nallada, you have said only one statement. What? The importance of intellect is understood by one who has that intellect, and I am the one who has that intellect, and nobody is willing to listen. The paradox. The paradox. It is not that obvious. If it is that obvious, education is not required for that which is obvious. Education is required for that which isn't obvious. And for human being, at least for the other species, certain things are obvious, which is enough for their livelihood and survival. They don't bother, they don't worry. In the case of a human being, everything has to be learned. Everything has to be taught. And where does it end? It ends in knowing the reality. For the search of all knowledges is, the reality is the search of all knowledge. The ultimate aim of all knowledges is to arrive at what is real. They may not use the word real. Please understand, they may not use the word real. They may not use the word permanent. But the aim of all knowledge is to arrive at something which is at the core, that is fixed, that is permanent, that doesn't change. Knowing that, you would know how to deal and handle everything. Is the aim and purpose of knowledge, any knowledge. Vedanta comes and says, in this knowledge that can be achieved. Knowing this, you know everything. Vidya Daikyam Mahavakye Neti Neti Iti Vakyatah. What are the 4 Mahavakyas? Prajnanam Brahma. I said 4 samples. These are not the only 4 Mahavakyas. Mahavakyas are in hundreds. Prajnanam Brahma in the sequence. Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. The sequence. First is, what is God? Consciousness is God. Where is that God? You are that God. Okay, this is God. Where is it? You are that. How do I? If I am that, I should be knowing it already. If I am that, I should be knowing it already. Why am I not knowing it? Not that you do not know it, Kenopanishad. Remember that mantra? Not that you do not know it, you are trying to recognize it through the wrong instrument. You are trying to know it through the wrong instrument, which is incapable of knowing it. How do you do that? Then what is the method? Abhyasa. I am Atma Brahma. I am Atma Brahma, the practice. Then comes the Anubhava, the grand declaration, the boldest declaration. What? Aham Brahmasmi. That day you have said Aham Brahmasmi, you have spoken the truth. That day you declare Aham Brahmasmi, you have spoken the truth. Till that time, all that you are speaking is, till that time, all that you talk, all that you say, all that you speak is what? Aham Brahmasmi is the truth. Now, what is all that then? Type doesn't matter. Sin and all will not come. Yeah, sin and all will not come. Yeah, what is it? The untruth. The untruth. The untruth it is. You speak the untruth. You speak the untruth. Upanishad says, untruth, correct. You speak the untruth. Satyameva jayate, nanrutam. Mundaka. Mundaka Upanishad. Even Kathopanishad. Satyameva jayate. Truth alone triumphs. What is the truth? What is the truth? Aham Brahmasmi is the truth. When you look at yourself, you say Aham Brahmasmi. When you look at the other, you say Tattvamasi. When you look at yourself, you say Aham Brahmasmi. And when you look at the other, you say Tattvamasi. You have got the knowledge, you are speaking the truth. This is the process of the Mahavakyas. This is the process of the method of gaining the knowledge by the process of assertion and negation. As I said, 31, 32, 33 talks about negation. 34, 35, 36 indicators for assertion. Okay, clear. Clear. No questions. No questions. Great question. Sri Ram. In the context of Neti, you say anything you perceive, you understand and feel, you negate. Don't these three constitute an important part of preparing you for the experience? And even for Mahavakya, you said everything remains the same, but your perception has changed. So why should I negate perception even when it is helpful for my evolution? And in one sense, the basis or preparatory step for my experience of Aham Brahmasmi, as it helps after the lens through which I am viewing the world and myself. The answer is negation is not done in the beginning. Negation is done at the end. In the beginning, you can't negate. In the beginning, you cannot negate in the beginning. Negation is a process of evolution for the advanced stage. In the process of the Bhagavad Gita Yogi Sannyasi Jnani, Sannyasi will be initiated into the Mahavakyas, orthodox. Today we don't do that. In the orthodox traditional method, the yogi types will not be initiated into the Mahavakyas. Only upon sannyasa, the person will be initiated into the Mahavakyas. It means the person has done a lot of practices like what all you have listed and come to the level by where he can negate. In the initial stages, negation is not possible. In fact, you can't negate, because in the initial stages, this is the irony of the negation. The irony of the negation through intellect is it's a vicious cycle. For who's going to negate the negator? Okay, I'm negating. Now, who's going to negate the negator? So, in the initial stages, it becomes a vicious cycle. So, it is not done in the beginning. It is done at the end. It is done. Here is talking about a stage where we had spoken about the superimposition. We have understood all that and come to a point of negation. Is it okay, Sira?
Sure.
Yeah. Venkatraman Swaminathan. Knowledge is the only way. Sakshan mokshaika sadhanam. The moment you start to know, what is the moment you start to know limitations, what are you saying? I'm not able to understand. Konjam unmute pannungo.
The moment you start to know, you have a lot of limitations.
Yes. The moment you have started to know that you have a lot of limitations, what is the state of knowledge at which you get to know Aham Brahmasmi? The state where you have understood that because of vocabulary again and again we have to use you have understood. At what point of time you recognize Aham Brahmasmi? That point where you recognize Aham Brahmasmi is when all the instruments and everything that you associate with is understood as
You.
Non-existent or temporary existence. See, at one level, at the Karma Yogi level, it is temporary existence. At the evolved stage, it is non-existent. So the moment you understand this as non-existent, then it would be possible, then only you get the knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi. For it is not the knowledge as in, again, see, knowledge indicates subject and object, which I discussed 2 classes back. Any knowledge indicates subject and object. There has to be a subject, there has to be an object, there has to be a knower, there has to be a known, and there has to be a process of knowing. All knowledges has these 3. The known, the knower, the known, and the process of knowing. In Aham Brahmasmi, all these things don't exist. That is why, even though for short of vocabulary in human language, we say knowledge. But what we have to understand here is a unique knowledge where the knowledge, the known, the knower, the process of knowing do not exist. That is too much for the intellect to
understand,
comprehend. Is it okay?
Thank you.
The last one, Visveshwar Rao, example of pole vault. You have to leave the pole to cross the bar. Anyhow, bar is required to cross, correct? Bar is required to cross. Without the bar, you cannot cross. But when you are using the bar, you understand that you have to, when you are taking the bar in the pole vault, when you are taking the pole to cross the bar, at the point of holding the pole itself, you have to understand that you have to let go of the pole. As soon as you hold the pole, you understand that you have to let go of the pole. Then it becomes easy. Then leaving becomes that much easy. Otherwise, what will happen? I would have dropped my association with others, but develop an attachment to the pole, because this is the pole that helped me to cross. How can I can leave everything, but how can I leave this Neti? Mahavakya will come, Upanishad will come and say, Neti, leave this also. So from the very beginning, when you are holding the pole, you recognize that it is an aid. It is an aid. No doubts aids are required, but aids and truth are entirely different. Aids and truth are entirely different. Is it okay? Visveshwar Rao?
Actually, I told it as an example for that question, sir.
Yes, I know. I know you didn't ask any question. You gave an answer. I know. The 4 Mahavakyas Prajnanam Brahma from Rigveda, Aitreya Upanishad. Tattvamasi from Chandogya Upanishad, Samaveda. I am Atma Brahma, Mandukya Upanishad, Atharvana Veda. Aham Brahmasmi, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajurveda. These are the four Mahavakyas. With this, pole. Pole is the Shastra, the Guru. What is the pole? Vijay, that's what you are saying. No. Pole means the Shastra, the Guru, the spiritual practices, all these are poles. That's why you have to leave. That's why you have to leave that also. Yeah. இப்பவே விட்டுறாதப்பா. ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ல இருந்து விட்டுறலாமே சார், அதுக்குன்னு இப்பயே விட்டுறாத, கடைசியில விடணும். இதை புடிச்சுக்கிட்டாதான் மிச்சத்தை விட முடியும். அப்புறம் இதையும் ultimately it is dropping. That's all. Ultimately, right through, what are we practicing? Letting go, letting go, letting go. Seriya? Okay. With this, we conclude for today. 31 from next class.